I am Prince Kwame Minka. Thank you very much for joining us on XYZ tonight. And then you may, yes, it's Kakra, because we're having a citizens' conversation on Fix Ghana. If you say Fix Ghana now, if you say Fix Ghana, just Fix Ghana. If you almost say Fix Ghana, Kurano, Omon Penche will be a every Ghana penny for. And that's the kind of conversation we're going to have tonight. I'm speaking to Ghanaian citizens. I'm speaking to those who you've known in the political circle. So Tati Omonka, so Mokasa in the realms of politics, so Mokasa radio show, and I think so, and then many civil society funds so Ebedin Komo. Many some train Yibin so Bedin Komo. As a matter of fact, he's the one who is leading the charge as far as Fix Ghana now is concerned. He's Kofi Opona Samoa, a journalist with Class Media Group. He's, by the way, the morning show host of Class Morning Show, and also the convener of Fix Ghana Now. He's my guest. He's one of my guests tonight here on XYZ tonight. To say the end done, we are live on Wazer TV. We're also live on TV XYZ. Join us with your messages on the WhatsApp line. You may display your screen, so set a also be to me at Shawadri. Where Ghana and Komo, Yamama Kwaba. Well, later on the program, you get to hear Fritz Moses, or a research analyst at Institute of Economic Security, Energy and Security. That's IES. And I think so, Elekem Kotoko, a youth activist, or a member of the NDC communication team. Matisse, as will propose to be with NDC. Later, you may this sound common. But what's up, line on your display or screen or so. And then I say, or Ghana, one. Oh, sorry, now we'll be on TV, and also TV, and also will be on radio. What to say? Yes, Fix Ghana. Fix Ghana now. Kofi Opona Samoa, Miaminia, Menena, Nana, Newofidiamwa, and we're going to jam Wakodru, a year Class Media Group. Sure, I'm here, say, now, yeah, Class FM, Class Morning Show. Yeah. Kofi, good to see you. How are you doing?
It's been a while. I'm doing well.
And by the way, Kofi Opona Samoa is the convener for Fix Ghana Now. Sure. Now, my mention is in free Kofi and Sana Mede Elekem and I think so Fritz about conversation. What is broken in our country? Chinchina must Fix Ghana now.
Me name da Sene Akunya with the Amame in the numerator. Any Ghana for near T4 Ninkomo. Na yen shake quite before to be to my boy, my Ghana to me to Pona Bay Crabashe. Ghana say a whole lot of things happen in this country today. Any consent cause a simply because we changed the style of our leadership or governance from a year 2016 Shabrana John Dramani Mahama Tiswa Noyo Mampenyo or Ghana ha. We share a year the energy and the kind of pressure we give to him as a president because near Jane say Memon de no see corner na enkoye nenoma NCC enti Ghana for the before Tintesco Chreno say one here between Ampeniampa in 2016 he was sacked, he was booted out from government. Anna Nanadua wabon tour over the years from 1995 for Shah Seneco former prayer BC 2016 Ghana for G2 say okay he is somebody who will be able to change the fortunes of this nation. In Tiamana Kunyana on Fra Benyan, and after Oman Penny, one church and a bit my Buama Ghana, Etimia Tumpona Bay Krabashe. So he became president and he was running at a supersonic speed. Or can say me bro Shebobre, and that was
good. He was running at a supersonic speed and they're putting our patch.
His Excellency, another Danko for the Betina Benyan, so within the first 100 days of his administration, near him the number of ministers are Ombaba Buano Amana Yejuma. A call Shasefi 110, a toss call after the Korean could do 125. Yamin Chad and with me Pamo back with 3 man Sotibe 124. And he Osha in the second administration, yeah. Within the first 100 days, na half of his companion force or point to more. Oh, I don't know he was not able to do so. Until within the first term of Akufo's administration, he was running at a speed, and even he said it himself, say he was in a hurry because there were so many things that needed to be fixed in this country. A lot of Ghanaians had hope in him. Say, okay, the things that are
and the hope were hinged on
the promises he gave, on the assurance he gave to Ghanaians that okay, you know what. I have been tried and tested. You saw what I did when I was in opposition. The kind of things I did in shaping the political discourse of this nation. Montra menshe, monso menshe. Na me ba Mayor ABCD. Ghanaians bought it. He saw this message very well, especially when it comes to the issue of fighting against corruption. He was incorruptible. That was the tag then. And the Busaon said, Omampenya to Abamani basis Ambreno, send in the Suban City. When it comes to the fight against corruption.
What's satisfactory? Sano Kache.
Sano, yeah, teacher, it's about you being there and we watching you. Say, no me koye and kamiko for points mameti. I mean, sorry, Nana, you have to fix the nation and it has to be done now. Because we're giving you ample time. 5 years is enough for you to change the fortunes of this nation. And mebuna yo memu, yanko so amrenko se dabai ansana yenye adwumaye. Nkani ya honsam yanko so anesu munko pim dabai ansana ade aka say oh we any technical issue is financial issue, so you'll be able to engineer financially to solve this issue. Sikana way, well no na can say Ghana yet sikanso so accommodate. Na yet sikanso so sikana fa hen, was it the case any ade galam say a party for any ade show mun say motu ene nsase any nsu e o man Ghana mun nyina tumi asay. You ask yourself, say, what is the clear direction of this nation? We need leadership. And the kind of leadership Ghanaians thought Nana was going to offer when he was campaigning to be president, you know, and yes, leadership in the year. Okay,
leadership as some okay, but answer me let's look at this whole campaign and the chira APMO amamo ISR campaign way. Judo Naka said, look, about in terms of what we're expecting from this administration, it's possibly said that expectation here too high. Eti sabreya yenim said ya buying a toda a was or tuno boase na and no maybe a what dada no clear in the case of Kojo Ponkroma or say information minister or say the mess created by the Mahama administration and no mugusu omusie nams wonti omachekaka, but eventually they will fix the country. So what is our narrative no? Now what to reconcile with the fact that people say maybe our expectations were too higher and then I'll be found.
First of all, who set the expectations? It was the president. When he was campaigning to be president, menam catcher and sense of no kind of wonka, and now been a trauma and zonka. He said it on several campaign platforms. He said, say, in man of quina so be man penina, obey ABCD. He mentioned over 300 promises, over 300. He knew the time frame with which he was supposed to deliver all the promises now he made, you know. Information Minister Kojo Ponkoma, why am I new to say pain? Those days when he was holding people accountable to the ills in our society, no catch on say you'll be nae. In any way, why did Ghanaians vote Mahama out? He was voted out because they felt so okay. And Yamana oil money and Tasumu and Koye. Let's give Nanado the chance to fix this nation. How many years should you give him 100 years to fix all the mess of Mahama? If Mahama caused all these mess, and Kofubo ha. Now, Omani Mahama ni ejuma, they faltered along the line. That's why the laws of this country has given him every power as a president to punish anybody found culpable in the act and derail the progress of this nation. Oba ede na oye. It's just about borrowing. Nti akojiska na ni aba obeti anse Ghana yakobo bosia we parliament approve ibu akwa enko parliament na ye use executive instrument na dia fair che ni aye. At the end of the day it is minu na ye ha ye bre o ma Ghana mu ye ne betua sa taxes.
That's to say so monfanye bibia.
O de chire nanado nanse won say on social media omo the tracker bia beto say go and check what the administration chose to do. Obi atimi see biu. Hospitals say yes in Ashanti region, go to Afari as we speak. A year military hospital Mahama CEO we Ebesinne, I Deputy Ashanti Regional Minister did one video and it's been trending. Or say that building was done in 2014.
Former Deputy Ashanti Regional Minister Joseph Yamin.
Good. It was supposed to be commissioned in 2017. Yeah. What happened? Now the by Ebesinne, UG Medical Center, and yes, a student of University of Ghana, Eko General Rebecca Kufado, Her Excellency. Eko ye koji plaka ko jina say open the UG Medical Center and kenenke miye. Kotoka International Airport Terminal 3. But I say enya juma say yeah juma has it been commissioned? No, but we are using it. Whole airport. What happened? It had to take some citizens for them to put pressure on government to open that airport. Okay. You see, the governance system of this nation, Ghana couldn't 64 years as a nation. We shouldn't be seeing it by now. Yet to Kromani a toy and sass de China for and umbitra cocoa to guye. Cocoa and the menumio yekase. Go to most of the mining areas. Near Dua cocoa in the western region. Ye chance as in to a good as the Dua rubber. And I say the Egalam say, Yensa say, China is not producing cocoa in China. When China enters your market, I tell you, say, there is no way you can defeat China. That's the world superpower.
It is to say, yeah, Kasa. yeah, advocate. I mean, I see the trend on social media. Beyond the trend, no, me say the other group no almost fix Ghana no. Almost say almost Sunday yeah.
Sure.
But the police have served notice. Look, because of COVID-19 protocols, the home chronobanti, almost being guarantee almost safety in the home chronoba. And also, baby, asama ye between sa. But who obstacle be in the wake of sa advocacy ya mounto. For instance, I would say omo abemu kase NDC for na chemwachi na APA matiko said the be sa de we ya obstacles no who say. You
see, you remember Occupy Ghana? The likes of Ace and Common and Sampanyo folk of Bento, Monet, Solon Branty, Momudi, and Muye, Occupy Ghana, Occupy Flagstaff House, home police for encounter, and San Manina. Ubika say NDC for nation, much and send people for nation match or much at that time. They felt that they were working for this nation, they were fighting a good cause. At the end of the day, no more NPP bar power, but almost said no man normally fighting. Where are they? They've all kept quiet. Is it the case of who the else in this society? You see, Obi, I say about the baby and Asumba, a copy and Asumba journal.
That's right.
Yang, you put your pimpuntu at the amount of Ghana. I'm asking myself, say, in the next 25, 30 years, where would I be? If some woman back, me back ever call SSR, is it the kind of education I want my child to go through? No. If say me baby you school be pay Jumaye, is it the kind of nation I would want my child to? Political intention of certain political parties near Maparachiks. You think about it, it doesn't make sense. Yes, see, I didn't know. I Ghana nisi can you ayo. The thing has been built. It's a way day. Share a year some of the Saglami housing projects.
That's right.
Fair enough, wasn't conform misbehavior, but of land issues. And then be paid the readings that I did. I say a Danny cry, it was given to the military. Besides, there be a year cut sword, and they say they am a military for. And then it's all a day. Once you can hear the air. Very
coffee. We'll continue on this conversation some other time. Now, Yabakos ready wachi na mo campaign amuye the basic answer you ma a team for near reform so ehunu de ekoso me da wase me no da ase kofi upon someone on na morning show e Class FM and afen so on na convener ema fix Ghana now within the menka utie and as wo hwe XYZ tonight, and of course we're returning from this break. When we come back, we'll be speaking to Elikem Kotoko. He's a youth activist, and Fritz Moses. He's a research analyst with IES. Now the angle now you better any the nanopa is see and as a name you may see you know efa a year found obo at least yatiso at least yatete say a buying a year shemu ahodo a omo behwe concerns na Ghana for a reason no. Would this in any way suggest say campaign ya omo ye na anu ya no at least some results ana ye best see.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural.
I love makeup. Applying it gives me so much joy. But when it's time to take it off, nothing does the job quite like the Black Secret makeup wipes. When I go somewhere and I feel really sweaty, I take my Black Secret wipe and I use it on my face. It picks me up and I don't look as tired as I did when I walked in.
Before I work on a client's face, I like to go over it with Black Secret makeup wipes to make sure the face is clean. It doesn't leave the face dry and tight, but it keeps it soft and moisturized.
Wipes say your bodo.
Barco pick and it gets the job done. Or baby and the smell makes the experience even better.
If I cry na menyisika, etia ye mefui.
Ehe fa pa na menya bosia e de atre medwuma yi mu.
Kai kra mabre me ye busia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank. Suhum Rural Bank.
Yemamwa kwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodo bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, ekuro bosia, susu account, ene da so wɔ savings account, ne bada chain savings account, ene de akeka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 03422919896. Na won so wetumi aka sɛ
Suhum Rural Bank ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
All right, thank you very much for staying with us. This is XYZ Tonight, well, TV XYZ, then I think so, Wazer TV, and YouTube, TV XYZ, and now Wazer TV. All you need to do is that when you get to YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and anytime we're on the air, program biano, also ubit me ediyechi. Ben my enquiry kasa, asema yedi, anasa nkomoya yedi, if I yena yeho, fix Ghana now, no, na say. Ewo ye memu achinchina obi ase fix Ghana now. Ubetimi list e de amame. Wabra ye kwa ni no making kind e de achemo. Now we put together a news desk report that encapsulates where we've come. I mean how far we've come as far as the development of the country is concerned. And some of the key issues that's been raised by the current Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, is concerned. I need you to watch this. We'll be back shortly.
Did he establish the Bozongo Development Fund? Did his government have a program for agriculture apart from guinea fowls? Could you transfer mobile money across telephone networks? Could you apply for scholarships online? Did he provide free TVET? Did he provide free SHS?
Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the chairman of the Economic Management Team, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, has over the 4 years superintendent over a country that is saddled with debt.
What does the data say about the state of our economy after 8 years of economic management under the NDC, with President John Mahama in charge as the head of the Economic Management Team for 4 years and President for another 4? Mr. Chairman, any assessment about the state of the economy and the performance of the government must be against the background of the amount of money or resources that has been available that has been at the disposal of any government.
After June, the borrowing of the state has brought about an increase in our public debt to about 151.6 billion dollars. It further makes a point that this creates a debt to GDP of 74%, and that is very worrying. Mr. Speaker, my question is, this means that we have added about 28.6 billion to Ghana's public debt in 1 year, and yet I have not seen a borehole constructed anywhere.
This narrative is a clear contrast to what the then vice presidential candidate of the MPP described as a situation of despair.
To whom much is given, much is expected. End quote. In this regard, it is important to emphasize, for the record, that measured in terms of today's dollars and cedis, no government since independence has had the amount of resources in terms of tax revenue, cocoa exports, gold exports, oil revenues, and loans as the two NDC administrations between 2009 and 2016.
2021, first year of the second term of the Akufo-Bawumia administration, and the public opinion began to lash hard. It reached its crescendo in May when various taxes were slapped on the Ghanaian public. Dominant sentiment shared on Twitter are rising unemployment, dilapidated health system, skyrocketing home renting structure, poor road networks, among others. With the hashtag Fix the Country, the anger spread like wild bushfire, with organizers vowing to protest in the wake of police warning that their security cannot be safeguarded under the COVID-19 regulations.
There is no way we can be able to guarantee for a fact that such a large demonstrating public, and so we cannot also guarantee the safety of people who would join for that demonstration. And as a matter of fact, let us state it clearly that there is an imposition of restrictions that is banning such large gatherings. Let us advise people to do what the law says.
The MPA may have reduced prices of fuel by 8 pesos, but the reality remains that there is erratic power supply, water shortage in parts of Accra, transport fares are up, while prices of goods and services continues to surge. All right, so there you go. That's a news desk report that we put together, and I'll stay on that report and get to my guests. Let me introduce them. Fritz Moses, a research analyst, Emma, the Institute of Energy and Security, IES. Fritz Akwaba. Are you in any way related to Fritz Bafo?
No, I am not.
And also, my good brother, Elikem Kotoko, he's a youth activist. Elikem, it's been what, 100 years? Good to see you.
It's been a while, and I'm seeing the progress you are making to so much joy. I am glad with what you are doing, and I think you are doing what you are best cut for.
Thank you. And you're also doing what you're best cut for, and then hopefully we'll talk about the other issues some other time. But Fix Ghana now. I'll start with you. Yesterday there was a major development, and this morning we were reviewing it on our morning show. The National Petroleum Authority, as per what we know, has reduced the margin on the price of fuel by 8 pesos per litre. Sad development, we know. What does it mean for the Fix Ghana campaign now, Yashasen? Because fuel prices in their course, and also can't be the deal before buy. It Fix Ghana, no, as I shall you.
Yeah, Prince, true. The fuel prices, no, and can't be, it is the propeller. And then I did the whole thing start here. And so we think looking at how far or the decision that MPA took yesterday, in relation to the campaign that is being run now, to the campaigners, maybe they would see it as a good result. But for you at IES, you don't think it is what we are looking for. What you have been saying is the reason why they brought on board these new margins have not been stated. There's no explanation that has been put forward yet as to the entire. In here, say the new taxes, and I say we would increase the margins on the various price, the price border for the. The reason why we need boss to increase their margin, the reason why we increased the UPPF margin, we have not even heard anything on the reason why PDM should also be increased, and that's what you are saying. And I think that's also the same thing that the campaigners now are calling out for. Say, it is high time that Ghanaians are respected in this country.
Answer me about, I mean, the need for Ghanaians to be respected. Yes, stay a little while longer on this 8 pesos reduction. And it's significant.
We don't think it's significant because the whole addition of the new margins, to us, have not been justified enough. It has not even been justified yet at all. And so whether it's even 1 peso that's been added, we think that it's still not enough. They should all be scrubbed, and we should still have, if for nothing at all, we should only have the energy sector levy, which has been approved by Parliament, and the sanitation and pollution levy now has also been approved. Only being the new taxes on our price board. Aside that, any other addition from NPA or the Ministry of Energy, we think it's not in the interest of Ghanaians.
Okay, about the resulting effect, and as a resultant effect in Elegam, it's obvious that when fuel prices are up, goods and services are also affected. Now, what the way reconcile it to the Fix Ghana Now campaign now? It
is just very obvious, sir. There are a lot of price build-ups war components now, and my price now cost room. government has not been able to tell us and answer convincingly at the current year these are new taxes and they are buying inside. Abra ube kaiswa your man penya bedi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
That's right.
Your more opposition on no one can say it takes a very serious government to manage an economy. Or more competent managers of the economy. Now should they are imposing taxes. Say imposing taxes. The only third option I available no corruption. I am also institutional. Yeah,
you mean corruption?
I bet institutional established under this regime. Oh yes, I mean there's absolutely just a single project we started from scratch to finish.
Planting for food and jobs.
Planting for food and jobs. There's a poultry cash crop. Policy. There's a poultry cash crop. No. It tells you we are putting too many square pegs in round holes, and these are people who are just great talkatives. And I quite say Ofubas from Akana Okokumase. Oh, Saga is not Muntonia a draw come or to me Kasad a drew back to me solve problems in that is just exactly what this government is. Omukasa very beautifully, but a banner Jumana now starting for Faho, now John Mahama, now NDC, now we till 4 years. But a young one.
But why are we making it sound as though say Omunkwa na beswa Ghana this one as one na best say on man to the extent say they are the worst in the history of Ghana. I mean, that seems to be the narrative.
It is actually the case. I think they are even people are charitable to them. And Ghana for now, sabi ebia cry you need shed and brave. And yes, by now that way there would have been a total civil unrest. And I'm saying this on authority. One shares I fix Ghana now and I fix the country no and now start send the Arab Spring start here no and none of me can say fuel price no ebe properly and the anger in the people is so much so unama totra ofu and na atum the next day na see assign to uko talking you see 150 pesos uko bu petrol you see say uko your transaction the dollar to the city abia sankofo we na can say they are the best managers of the economy ufam we here police hospital never hoy. They have left it, abandoned it. Saglemi housing project never hoy. Vice President residence anka yesini almost 30.5 million year too much. In Tombe review no it take 4.5 months. The health sector is in total tatters. The education sector here kasa is here. Sisi ebi mu ko green, ebi e blue, ebi wo standby CFN red. Now you don't understand it. The pain of that is in the next 5 or 10 years every
government has its challenges.
Yeah, but this is so terrible, especially our public debt now stands at close to 300 billion. 300 billion. I will be because you borrow Sikana, then we use it for consumption. Until we are not putting that into any capital investment. A bit yield some dividend back to self-sustaining. There be Bobusiana, and finance minister now organizing Kinke and watch a party. No moody. Until when you now move and until send me a moon centrophobe guso cancer. I think it is good, but a Bima says they are all observing table manners. Until Ujina, you can say, Udidi and answer Yankasa Pebre, a Bimususi or Mushe, National Geographic. But that is the hypocrisy, and that tells you, say, such kinds of people are cowards, and they should be called by their names. So, it is a total lie. It is to subdue you and I, who are the youth, your future, and almost mortgaging is.
But I'm sure why should we be called Kasa? They are referring to the your faso Kasa. And say
someone is incompetent. Obisubeka say or useless. So 2 words say the same thing. Until we now open incompetence and I waka and I mean pay useless na maka. Now we can say be me maka useless na I too raw do. But no krema e wada hono and no na wuka. Until say we can say why don't you tell them the truth in the face? Because for so long no ya jijin crofo so and now mu yes e be na yesi Ghana police for craposi or mu man ho kwan man crofo and demonstrating. Does the police have any authority
to do so? They didn't just say so mu man ho kwan. Say under the COVID-19 protocols and regulations.
Ghana police for
executive instrument.
They call notice now according to the Public Order Act. Indicating said they will make sure they observe the strict adherence to the protocols. Ghana police guarantee. Guarantee their own safety. They can't even guarantee their own safety. Have we forgotten the AC or Takra? The 3 missing girls are up to and Neprayin in a mini war. Yajitum say, Sam Mosia Musia Moko, it is not the girls. Because the families even wanted private or an independent.
And what contrary evidence?
Now, you need contrary evidence. If you do analysis and we hear our personal logic, just a matter of wrapping up the matter. And the matters that are confronting us today, Ukobu Petra, Mr. the Prince, Utu my MPP and also Utu my NDC. Ukoboya Gaza, Una Okasama NDC and answer Una Uye Neutral. On
the issue of neutrality, my member phrase, for those of you are more civil society, some say, even on the back of this campaign, or to say, oh, because NDC for the Shemo Chia move, PMP, but to come yes, I do we are. A Pemo say, is that the case? A NDC for the Shemo Chia. Yes, I do, and I'm campaign. Yes,
it is never the case.
Campaign.
And yes, in taking position on the campaign, but what we are saying, Ghanaians can still go ahead and make their position known and what they want known to their government. Like the way our yes, also, whether political parties are, I mean, the comments say political parties sometimes sponsor CSOs. I think it is unfounded and unfortunate because in every society you need an institution or institutions that will at all times ensure that the interest of the nation and the interest of the citizens are at what the government will pursue. And say we think that it's normal. I mean, Obia can be send it to power because MPP S1 CSOs, MPP because send this next one. So I think it's.
But in the criticism, are we really being fair to government? I mean, for instance, energy sector, do so you can hear do now whether do so whether pressure whether flickering or there you do can hear yes also. But a bino abecheche makache say. Transmission lines near your way, my Fidiani be our natch, being Fidiani be and fear crown pocrano, a chain, a Methuselah fee, and ye CSC. Eti wabeche to the sense of an century for Ako Miamia, or my yes, Adiano. But when you know China, Kosukase, a bino now wash down or person, which about Mayma. Are we really being fair in our narrative?
Well, I think IS, for instance, what we do or what you say is that Yama precedent of cases in the past, we had preempted government because essentially that's what CSO is supposed to do, especially IES. You can't the situations as they are currently. So now we go ahead in some years' time, then we see the resulting effect. Then we draw our attention back to the past. We are telling you these were the things that were happening, these were the things you're supposed to do 1 year. Into you experience the experience. So for instance, you the power situation here. In 2018, the CEO of Gridco himself, about Montebeka says, massive investment to be anchored in Gridco. We will be seeing some major power issues. Same year, 2019, 2020, IES, we also saying the same thing. Say, government must refocus and ensure that there's robustness in the transmission lines of Gridco. So this we didn't see until 2021. They started the systems were falling down now because the pressure had increased. So usually, no answer we just want to talk. Yeah, I mean we always advise.
So is that to say more buying aid intro on the side of the energy crisis, or justified in saying so?
Abine does not present the entire picture, and so what we will do is to present to Ghanaians the entire picture.
So they are lying to us.
I won't say they are lying, but then they don't present the entire picture.
If you are not presenting the entire picture, what is it?
So we go in the back. You started from the beginning, how the issues have been, and what we have said towards it, and the recommendations we've given are Abine Tie. The current situation at your woman, and the things that at the end of the day, we leave the judgments to Ghanaians to make. Of course, we always the suggestions, solutions, for government to pick up. It behoves on the government to listen or not. And so, say when now you call in some years standards, so receive we start getting the same faults now. Then people can still judge for themselves.
With what phrase canon, is it an indication that say CSOs no makasa or mabre? Everything citizenry no, and so I become more. So another level.
CSOs no bre, and our citizens no so acquire senior Arab Spring started. It is just like how we suppress you be. You can say you see upon insutra upon Jewo. And to me you could accommodate and I say endure be do some level. But edu baby now, we doing what? If you sit there with the So you will feel then I must rather rise and oppose the air cost of society. Ebi na yeka energy ho asam ya efa electricity. Abra na ye man penyi ebe announce a slash in the tariff no. Sebi na sabia NDH.
But Satan
you see, it was as a result of the fact that the economy was robust and resilient. You know, so economy is robust and resilient. The people didn't need you giving them subsidies. The economy is good. If it is good, people will have money in their pocket, and they could afford to pay electricity bills. They could afford to pay school fees. They could afford to pay water bills. They could even pay rent. You don't need to promise them about rent allowances and all that. Oh, and no, it's very intertwined. And now electricity once they had you grapple into. We have seen videos where we've seen who say a buying crutch for and I said Star Wars within the party are involved in Galamsey. 500 excavators a year, they are burning those things, which doesn't make sense. But because of Galamsey, they are destroying the water body. Aquatic life is destroyed. The turbidity of the Nsiona as I into Ghana water crassi or move bread and some treating you know. And as our chemicals or moody Galamsey so say a cocoa no into your cocoa quality no started a drop here no air drop in not China for so picky. So before you realize, China will now become even the #1 producer of cocoa. Already, no, Kakra must start here. The technology is far advanced beyond we who are 60 and 70 years. You see, and they had you for the past 2 months and 2 weeks. I have never seen a drop of water run to my tap. And this is more deadly and serious because electricity, the Ankayan say, you survive, though collapsing companies and all that.
Utility service providers, say, church and Basa. They've not left you in the dark.
No, but because of Galamsey.
Yes.
Now, your president Yasu Nekoka said, I am prepared in the first term, or say I am prepared to put my presidency on the line. The presidency are told the line imagine say a Guinness.
So now there's a renewed effort.
No, which is the renewed effort?
Yeah, they have
for now Galam stop new Vanguard they only want to enrich themselves. That is the truth. Most of them.
But in this case,
two things. First term no musizi and no mumbeni. Sisi awusizi ubeni. Say na ubeni. You are destroying the water. You are destroying our body. And Chinese they are doing their own things in their own country. And to do what exactly is President Nana and this government doing? They know why. They put in Ghana. So and now we NDC. Forgetting say I'm a Ghanaian before NDC. I'm Ghanaian before an opposition. I'm Ghanaian before any other thing. And to be Kasana, and say, look, is there any sense in what the person is saying? By that to just want to rubbish him up and down.
Natural say narrative be suited to the opposition, you know, in a way. And no, it's not natural, so be better.
If we are not careful, the people who are standing by this fix the country now demonstrate hashtag, they are very resilient. I think they have made a resolve. Say, not even the police can stop them, and they will be ready to face them. If the police will try anything to face them with any full force, they will also do so to defend themselves. Maybe there may only be casualties, and it will be on both ends, which is not good for our democracy. But Sana Obi Amana Kodru, that is where it has gotten to, and the youth are feeling angry. Say Obi to me, a friend who say, "Oh, political apparatchik," and I say, "Wait. Within a matter of this, now we sit down, bear 5 buildings, and all that." Meanwhile, we know how much you are being paid.
But it's not the only route I bet to take to get
which other route
those you know.
Selbekaya and now 3 days and our man paying ni cousin Gabi Ochedako say people should name and shame, people should not stop to continue the blame game and now besides that name and shame me baby name and shame me my man paying Kazakra your former supreme special prosecutor say or your mother serpent of corruption absolutely nothing until I say mebune who say yeah bibia but your emergency or
do you agree? So there's
I've been exhausted.
Is that the case?
There is that perception already that the judiciary is compromised. There's that impression said the state institutions, especially the top echelon, have been compromised. Wow. They are only there to protect a regime.
It's perception.
Yes, it's a perception. But that perception, what fuels it? And no being a young and everybody feels, look, we are now fed up. We will face you head on. And if you want to take us on, and we'll also take you on. If I will go down, I'll go down with one of you as well. And people must say that without fear or favor. The point is that the police need not no cry a coward or because you know behind closed doors, they try to tell you say or order from above and paying for no say. But they had to do what they are doing. But that was the cowardice. It can somebody stand.
I quite remember some petition.
Yes, a lot back and forth.
Back of EC.
Yes, back and forth.
In the background.
Exactly. Oh yes. I'm telling you. Wow. To the extent that every baby crown see, almost see the ultra crown pickets and cry anyway. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Then you need a refresher course. You don't do that. And you see, I speak on this with so much passion. You say, I am youth. It is my future which is being destroyed, especially even my children and my generations. And to say to me, tomorrow we will be called cowards as well, together with the people who are preventing us from doing what we have to do.
Okay. Paint to us the kind of picture we are likely to see tomorrow now. Especially on the back of fuel price here, cost here, any energy crisis here, and seeing our conference and be a dear picture, and I'll bet my paint in terms of implications. I mean,
we all understand how fuel prices affect almost everything else in this country. And so what you're going to see is that, as I said, already know, GPRTU would also ensure that they will increase transport fares. Already we had been expecting an increment in the transport fares from the beginning of the year. But then I'm saying issues known to them, they hadn't come yet. And so yes, we are still expecting, we would see that transport fares. If transport fares they just say everything that is moving from markets to homes, from farms to markets, would also see increments. And services that are being rendered with the use of transportation would also rise because the cost implication of rendering those services would have already risen, and so there would be the need to also increase their cost in service charges.
Interesting.
And that is what you're going to experience going forward. And Yaka said, the only alternative or the thing that we expect government to do, to listen and of course also to ensure that the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian, the welfare of Ghanaian is catered for. No, they say governments can also come in, taxes now fuel price board happening. It can even cut some of them down because this same government said in 2016 the ASP or special petroleum levy was a nuisance tax. And so why do you still have it in a tax price build up? If you're able to take now these newly introduced taxes here are buying so they are SC or any sector levy, any sanitation and pollution levy,
and the COVID-19,
other taxes are home and increment in margins. You think these are things that government betting me to sustain the welfare of the Ghanaian. Which are several countries in the world currently, reeling all of us from the pandemic now. What they are doing is to help citizens to live a comfortable life so that they can work effectively to bring the economy back to life. You don't bring the economy back to life by taxing people who are already burdened. And you only dampen their spirit. I don't know, what you are saying is also is OMCs, how these fuel at the various stations, may want to smuggle illegal fuels into the country because they are not ready to pay these taxes. I know the production, or the international price is now so they are paying more for more of the cities for it. Abroad, the city is also depreciating. So these are all the issues that we are going to experience going forward. But government has a role. Government with me be found by reducing these taxes. Now you have been mentioning, you have been saying over the past few months.
Okay, government role it cannot be overemphasized because we're making a quite clear submission or the opposite abanye. But let's move into the realms of specifics.
Yeah.
Kofi Opon let me be and say, what can I fix the country now? A dear potty now person who's buying a juma any money
the kind crapple the fact say me to a and among us about outcry at the point to say they met their revenue targets. So when we see GRA, and so when we see revenue targets, we expect to see certain tangibles. And we be na yekasa uko bo busia the audi and say it goes into consumption. And so according to consumption, that means the more will be owing because it's not self-sustainable. Now, we show your education sector, especially the senior high school. It's in total disarray. Your health sector, because I want to say, John Dramani Mahama, any NDC, NAC, UGMC, Bank Hospital, Maritime Hospital, East Hospital, the Afari, and then Ridge Hospital, Omunina, and COVID by Ebianka Nima residents na Yedibeye holding facility for some of the places. Now, when you they are not able to be grateful enough to show appreciation. Commissioning of some projects. Your man paying to me could see just last 2 weeks or so 5 million cedis to cut short for Ghana Award House. Abe Awuko Kaji Ewa Keta. Gapoha, I see the 240-footer containers. I see what that is Gapoha more office or Mudi Ejuma. And so the misplaced priorities, you just do not understand. Ghana Police Hospital here, IAG Group, NNS is a project through the Eurogate project. It's at a standstill. In the project, or Terminal 3 up to now, he has not been able to man up enough to commission it. Meanwhile, he's using it anyways. But you see, the fact is, you can't fix it. These are the things you say. Electricity will slash you at a point in time. Now it is facing us. The fact is that as early as 2018, 2019, and I expect to say they're supposed to reinvest much into energy sector now in terms of maintenance culture and all of that. On 1 year, and at 2020 the acquire election year in Kenya the Ombeya in Jomuja to was 2021 ebi abanfo for na ebeba and as say enye omo a the ebeba no na aka say yanka nchemo assign the drum so aba. Now this is the reality confronting us. Water, just ordinary common water to drink. Yanye careful, next time we'll have to import water from China. Cocoa, Sisia China has started air producing, so we can no longer even be guaranteed because the Galam say the president in the say I put my presidency on the line and then I'll see I'll be fighting it. You'll be signing corruption now. He said he's satisfied. This is the president. Sebi. It looks as if he's very disorganized until he's far away from the reality. Until Ukoka, now you see we NDC. Yes, Majetum said we NDC, but the air cost no hammy. CBA depreciated. CCNM Newcastle Fango and now oil, the petrol. A liter of petrol is more expensive than $1. $1 is 5.7, and a liter of petrol. After we got off well, so 1 liter now better. 1 to crowd here, therefore, and as a 6 and sana can bet you movie a kilometer. Until we got off petrol, 1 liter cranny boy in chain the dollar. It is a corner and I say, but some economic lectures here now, but
what about argument here on make you say COVID-19
COVID-19 was rather even a blessing to this government because
a blessing.
Now say COVID-19 $1 billion, $100 million, almost $60 million baby stabilization fund. We can't tell what they have done with it. We call World Bank on the website that Ghana has not been able to put in proper measures as to how to account for the COVID funds.
Oh, really?
And now you can say 1 billion on
COVID management now. Yeah, boy abaso.
Now
CNN report one say answer na one don't be so far to Bekasa no. Okay, so that Ghana there see him some way in the committee of compromised corrupt leaders.
Don't be cajoled to believe any words by all those people. What is their records themselves too? They are also a mess. We've elected a mess to do the job of a messiah. So, and then now, so be at me, Basso. And it's when you Mukasa, Obewana, Yakofa paper tinting, and our rating so and so now is from B- to B, our GDP, and no first Kabia to and Kabia. Now, as we are talking, let's say our economy has contracted so much that we are even going to negatives. How about that? And BBI, then they tell you it's a matter, it's a COVID. BBI a COVID. COVID is so, and now COVID is so now 1 billion will be. I could do 100 million so baby. I do 60 million so Ghana cities will be. Almost set up a COVID-19 fund. And my corporate Ghana, and this carbon, baby, I call it. We don't even know. There's been no accountability. There has not been any transparency. And then go focus and fix Ghana, fix the country. These are the major challenges amount for a year amount for him. Because the fact is that say I say MD line, then 100 Ghana, and
we had demonstration on the back of this.
Yes.
What's your end game? I mean,
I am so sure, say the conveners intend to hold on to this until the season.
When I say you, I don't mean say we necessarily.
Yeah,
but at least you.
Your man Penya, or I am not doing say.
What sympathize?
Or your sympathy. He just doesn't even care. Whether I say we did or but. You see, when it becomes a revolution, when the people stand up to it, say, and not just a day's program, and 2 days, and 3 days, and 4 days, and it continues. The international community has an investment in Ghana. They wouldn't like to be seeing the things.
But is that the understanding you get of the Omo person.
That is also one of the possible understandings, because
we did say BBC. I bet you
Messi. I said to Messi or the countries, Tunisia, and I say and Algeria.
As far as section is concerned, Mampany Akufo-Addo cry demonstration. Dabako. More NDC, more demonstration. One day, sir. No matter. So our history does not really favor us in terms of say I'm not so more than a day.
Yeah, but if the people are that angry and have realized that, look, we have done a day's job and it hasn't seemed to yield much dividends, then there's a way. You see, like Tupac Shakur said, that the old way wasn't working, so it's on us to do what we have to do to survive. And therefore, if the old way wasn't working, there's now time for you to sit back and then see the new way you have to adopt. And I will not be surprised if the conveners would want to continue, even after the first day, to consistently send a message to the presidency, say, you are sleeping too much on the job, you speak big and empty grammar with slangs, but in the end, you are just sleeping on the job. And there's nothing going on. Okay. You call Mu Street Ahasia. You see, you just go. I think one of these days you should do something like that, just to go out there and interview people how things are. People are really struggling under this economy. Nothing is going on. And to me, TSS still finance minister, and I say shadow prime minister Gabi Moreba, because things are okay. We are still robust. We are still better in the Committee of Nations and all that now. Because their hands are being dipped at places which is not very well.
Let me bring in a couple of messages.
Yeah.
You heard from be Eddie Abbas Slizy, and then a message about Facebook or say fix the country. It's simple as that. Fix the crippling unemployment, fix the street lights, fix the erratic power supply, fix the irregular water supply, fix the killer roads, fix the corrupt institutions, fix the factories, fix the educational system, fix the agriculture. That's what's on the list now. No. Yeah. And the Kwabeka La Paz and so Fred did a message about say the water they gave for free that we are being taxed for no, and also it's say this is the hustle no, it fix it. This is so wrong. Quoting Sam George, and a message we also say for those saying fix the country hashtag is politically motivated. Can't you see things yourself? Don't you pick trotro? Don't you buy fuel? Or you are not in Ghana? Please, let's not pretend. Let's not be blind because of our love for a political party. Where's your message about? And I think so. Maybe Grace Denoa or say government must show concern about the rising cost of living and the harsh conditions prevailing in the country and do something about it as a matter of urgency. Where's your message? You heard from be Eddie Abba. But you wrap up with the conversation. And again on Lester, who bet me I provide first. Ushema. And look, so let's say I'm out for the bar. Can government really solve our problems within the next year within the next 3 years?
We think the government bet me what I think what Ghanaians are looking for is government wants to, it's the will. And I got a month for share.
But let's not also, and it's obvious there.
There are a lot of things. It's not even exhaustive. It's still a bit of and so I think what Ghanaians want, we would see government's will and dedication, particularly the president's will, because the leader making the minds or EBBR, then of course the followers would have to follow suit.
What form should the will come?
We think it should be in speech, one, public utterances, and again also in action. It also in action.
I'm in a hurry.
I think for now, it says the Nyanti president Zanokasa, based on, in relation to what the Ekosuniti, he should come and respond to what Ghanaians are saying. Maybe he should show it also in action. His appointees must also show in say. And what Ghanaians are requesting, I think that's what basically we are all looking at for. For the energy sector, we think government must, already the energy minister is doing well by engaging the sector players to understand the real situations on the ground. Going forward, we will have to also, of course, look at investing in our power sector management, our power sector generation, because we are seeing the rising demand, not, of course, also the rising generation. And we must also see that will to engage more, allow for more generation in the power sector, particularly in the region of renewable energy, because that's where the world is currently moving on to and where the investment too is. Again, we look at also the gas sector. There's one issue that we have a problem with, for instance, which is the regasification project that's been undertaken by the government, where we have brought a facility in Ghana. You export and I say you import gas in the liquid form to Ghana, then we gasify it and use it in Ghana. But Uba Ghana Hana, our various fields are the 3 fields in the western region. No? Yeah. They are all producing gas. About 59% of that gas is going waste. Right. And so why don't we rather have a liquefaction unit at Tema so that gas na yentimi use or fields no? You better liquefy na Tema. Then we rather export it for revenue rather than bringing in more gas when we don't need them. We already have more airflow already. These are some of the things that we think our leaders. I think sometimes these are very common sense, Carl. That's how people must.
And I'm hoping, sir, Jubilee House more jot to points in the down. But I like him. Wabra wrap up.
Yes, we be crop the financial sector clean up levy, and sanitation and
and I'm for friend Bola tax.
Yeah, man, we are now 2015, 2016 oil campaign. No, see Accra, the cleanest city in Africa within the first 18 months. When to me and then we see Bola tax. Now financial sector levy clean up. When they were doing the so-called cleanup, what you are doing is the wrong approach and all that. And then instead of spending 9 billion to save the situation, you have now spent 21 billion to clean up. After cleaning up, now you have come back to tax us. And so it goes back again to tell you and I what the former special prosecutor MIT has said. The president himself is the mother serpent of corruption. The mother is the one giving birth to the various serpents. And you don't get surprised when he's protecting the corrupt appointees and all that. And so if Ghanaians and the youth in particular are rising, they are rising out of some boiling anger. To me continue the view.
And in real terms, duration being a buying.
And it's not a matter of, you see, governance is a continuum. But the mere fact that you will show logic, you will show science, and Crawford will say, okay, I think they are taking the right steps now. Like Sandy Amibra gas is here. We are flaring gas ourselves already, but we do not intend to regasify that over here. But rather, we want to bring liquid gas from outside and now regasify it. It actually doesn't make logic.
Very well.
We have 3 fields that is doing same for us. So why are we flaring ours and rather now taking from another source? And that is why we are
anyway, if you know, now, may I sure say some other time, you have sound come away. So, Elikem, Kotoko now turning kind of a youth activist, and I think so, many of friends, Moses, where research analyst Emma Institute of Energy and Security IES. Medine Prince Kwame Minka said you say any rekono ye de be frafra sa de be ya ye tre ya hyem no bia timi abeka ye nkomo twetwe ho e wo TV XYZ wona mo kan ye ye we ye XYZ tonight ye be say hu ye hu bio adwada. Good night.